As we want you to get down bull neck. Yes, sir. He said, I want you running, Larry. I want you to put your helmet right in his pit, right up in his chest, and knock him off that board. You hear me, Brown? You can do that. Yes, sir. Can you do that? Yes, sir. I say, hubba, hubba. I say, hubba, hubba. He said, Brown, I want you to knock him off. You're going to make the team. I know you can get him, all right? We'll look at him. How sorry he is. Knees knocking and everything. I said, yes, sir. And then he went down to Larry. Larry Littles, who played 12 years for the Miami Dolphins, all pro for 12 years. This is a bad, big dude. 250 pounds, strength, agile, and all muscle. He said, Larry, he said, man, you know Brown down there. He's down there talking about your mom and everything. He talked about how fat and sorry you are and how he's going to knock you off this board. Larry now spitting fire and growling and foaming at the mouth. And I'm looking at Larry saying, oh, hubba, hubba. He said, look at that fool down there growling. He told me he's going to scare you, that you're going to leave. Are you going to leave? No, coach, I ain't going to leave. Go down there and knock him out the park. Boy, coach got back. He winked at me. Go get him, Brown. I went hard. I ran into Larry with my helmet. Larry said, boom. I don't know where I landed. When they woke me up, I said, can y'all take this helmet off me for a minute? I said, y'all got any more positions out here? They said, like where? I said, don't y'all need an announcer? They said, Brown, where you going? I was crying. They said, man, some girls over there. I said, I don't care, man. I'm hurt. Said, that fool almost killed me, man. He said, Brown, you quit, man. I said, yeah. I said, what? I said, it ain't worth it, man. No, it ain't worth it. Y'all go ahead. Y'all crazy. I'll be your announcer, man. I was calling the game. I was up there in the booth. Call good games, too. Because the pain wasn't worth it to me. And I'm saying to you, you know why people do what they do? The people who go after their stuff, what makes it worth it? It's got to be your passion. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love it. It's got to be what you are supposed to do. You want to sing, and even though they want to invite you to Carnegie Hall, you're going to sing to anybody that listen to you, including singing to yourself. I used to talk to my plants when nobody else would listen to me. You got to write, even if no one published your book, write, because that was given to you to do. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required. Just go out there. It's possible you can get what you want. It's necessary. If you want it, you got to go into action. You got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to fail and to succeed. You got to be willing to form and to develop new relationships. It's you. It's on you. You got to make that happen. Nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter and say, here's your dream manifested. No, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it. People ask, hey, man, these kids, man, it's rough dealing with them. That's right. That's right. You think peer pressure happened overnight? We went through peer pressure. I remember as a kid, some guys said, hey, Les, me and another fellow named Willie Lower, we were going home. Hey, man, we're going down to Goulds, man, and knock off a grocery store. I said, look here, I don't want no part of that. I'll see y'all later. Say, y'all chicken. I said, that's all right, you say whatever you want. Low star. I'm not chicken, man, don't call me chicken. Then why don't you come? We didn't even ask you to come into place, man. All you do is just drive the car, that's all. I don't know how to drive that good. Well, we're trying to get Les to come. He's chicken. Hey, I'm not driving nothing, all right? Willie, don't care about what they say, man. Leave him alone. You want to go do it? You find somebody else to drive, or you drive yourself. Come on, Willie, man. Pull him, he stop. I ain't chicken. All I got to do is drive? Yeah. I said, Willie, that sounds simple, man. Don't go, man. He went. And the next day, we read the newspaper. So peer pressure didn't just start in the 90s or the 80s. It's difficult and it's challenging for kids right now. And it's going to take some easy, simple methods to help bring them out of this madness, this insanity. No. Is it hard? Yes. Let's look at what we've been doing. What has worked? What has not worked? Let's look at where we want to go. What is it that we want to produce? What is it that we want to create for our young people? And as we think about that, start experimenting with different methods and techniques to create and to produce that. And begin to believe that it's possible through our commitment, through our vision, through our determination, our relentlessness. Because of our belief, it's possible that we can reduce the teenage homicide rate, the teenage pregnancy rate, the dropout rate, that it's possible, looking at what kind of world are they going to be in. As we look at the global economy, that as we begin to use our collective will and genius and resources, it's possible that we can create an educational system that not only will test their minds with information and facts and figures, but will teach them how to think and be creative, and what does it mean to be a human being and to value human life, and how do you make relationships work? How do you bounce back from adversity? It's possible that we can give them a curriculum that will give their lives a sense of purpose and direction and meaning, and teach them how to begin to know and operate on a higher level of being, where they become assets to our society rather than liabilities. What if we leave here with that kind of consciousness that it's possible, as opposed to saying we have to write this generation off, that it's possible that we were born for such a time as this and that, that maybe someone here has the idea or the method or some plan of action or an approach that can resolve many of the problems that we're facing with young people today. Whatever we have to do to save our children, it's worth it.
I started out memorizing quotes. Then I got a coach. Then I started listening to other motivational speakers. Then I started going to seminars and workshops. Then I started speaking on a volunteer basis because I felt it was my calling. A calling is something that you're made for. So a calling is something that you love so much you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. It's the time if you want to be on top of your game. Now listen, this is not for everybody. The masses will use their time being a spectator. We've been conditioned, and through the internet the other day. It's amazing the magnitude of craziness that's out there. This computer, the video, you can use it to start a global business, to earn millions of dollars, to touch millions of people. And it's amazing the time and the effort that people put in to produce stuff that's nonsense. It's amazing. There's no competition. There's no excuse today for not becoming successful. Even if you've just lost your job, even if you're going through foreclosure and eviction, you can come back. You have no competition because the majority of the people throw their time away and they have nothing to show for it. I remember when I was in Miami and I came down and I just finished doing one of the television shows that I'd been paid $5 million for. And I saw a friend of mine named Lefty that we used to shoot pool together on 3rd Avenue and 12th Street across from Douglas Elementary School, Sam's Pool Room. And I said, look, Lefty, I'm about to go back to Columbus, Ohio. He said, oh, great, man. He said, I'll be right here when you come back, holding down the corner. He was holding down the corner. This guy that I used to look up to, he was a very talented and gifted basketball player. He was holding down the corner, have about 12 teeth in his mouth, holding down the corner. Have you seen people who just, their lives are just stopped? They're not working and producing. Herein my Father glorified that ye bear much fruit. We were put here to bear some fruit? No. Much fruit. To be productive, to make an impact, to create a presence. That's why we're here. To work. To leave our mark. And so do an evaluation of yourself. Ask yourself, if you look at 24 hours, how much time do you spend developing your mind? How much time do you spend learning a new skill? The economy has changed. 47 million jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence. Majority of money being made on the planet is being made virtually at home on a computer. The game has changed. The day where you can go to college and graduate and have thousands of dollars of debt and be able to get a job working for 40 years and retire in 40 years on 40%, which wasn't enough in the first place, that day is gone. And I'm encouraging you, get around people who are using their time productively, because people rub off on you. I remember Steve Skilkin. He's out of Columbus, Ohio. He really inspired me to earn my first million. He's a very good friend of mine. And say, hey, Boo and I, we're ready to watch the Baltimore Colts and Johnny Unitas. He said, I can't come Sunday afternoon. And I said, why? He said, I'm at the office. I'm working. I said, you the boss, man. Have your staff do the work on Monday morning. He said, I got a goal of earning my first million by myself and not with my father's money. Now, I was on the east side of Columbus, Ohio, living in what I would call a human doghouse. That's an apartment that does not have a back door. And Steve lived in Bexley, in a home that's valued at probably $7 or $8 million. I'm getting all ready, me and Boo, Calvin and Patrick, let's sit in front of the television, watch Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts live their dreams. And Steve, whose father Joseph Skilkin built shopping malls all across the United States, Steve, whose father left him and lent his sister millions of dollars, was at work on a Sunday afternoon. And I sat there for a minute, and I got up and I walked out. Who said, aren't you going to watch the game? I said, no. I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. And I focused my energy. I said, wait a minute, he's already a millionaire. He inherited millions of dollars, but he had this sense of himself that he didn't want to capitalize on what his father generated. He wanted to be able to outdo his father. See, this is the first generation that will not outdo their parents. What I've accomplished, what I've done, based upon what Mamie Brown put in me, my mother, I went beyond her. She had a 3rd grade education. I had a 12th grade. I was in the 12th grade, graduated from Booker T. Washington High School in special education. But because of what she put in me, I went far and touched millions of people's lives around the world because of how I used my time. She worked in a cafeteria. She worked for wealthy families. And there's nothing wrong with that. But our children are to go beyond us. I was with a friend and he called his son and wanted to borrow some money for gas. I didn't say anything, none of my business. My mother used to have a sign on her mirror, oh Lord, help me keep my nose out of other people's business. Miles Monroe, he said, when you know your purpose, that narrows how you use your time. How you use your time. How are you using your time? You have something special. You have greatness in you. You have a story. And the time is now. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. No. Don't take it for granted. You've got more in you. Be willing to learn something new. Be willing to put in the time and the effort to acquire new skills so that you'll be in charge of your financial future. Things about the bottom is about to fall out in this economy. I know a thing or two. I'm a former elected official. I know the signs. And so the people that are going to come out on top are the people that will put in the time and effort to learn something new, to get the coaching that they need to get, to save them time. You always want to do things that can save you time. from somebody who's been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. If that's who you are, if you want to save some time learning how you can use your story and your knowledge and take advantage of this attention economy, if you're serious, I only want to work with people that are serious, that are hungry, because I was hungry. I'm just not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life. That's just not me. I don't like going into an office and being all cooped up. No, seeing people I don't want to see every day. No. You are here to live life on your terms. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. You're made in the likeness and image of God. If you believe that, then live like that. Live from a place of power. Because that's who you are. You got it like that. I'll teach you. If you have goals and dreams, I'm putting together a community of people of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Every day we'll be talking about how you can develop your mind. Every day we're talking about how you can learn a new skill that will put you outside of the realm of a job, the journey of the broke. Every day, when you're in a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, and I'm coaching you, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor is entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. When you are willing to open your mind to new possibilities, upgrade your skill set, and get around the right people. I can't tell you the number of intelligent, gifted people who got it wrong. They got around the wrong people, and that short-circuited their potential.
Describe what it feels like growing up in a home with your father.
Well, that's an interesting environment, to say the least. I'm very blessed to be the youngest son of Mr. Lester Brown. Growing up in the household, it was really surrounded by empowerment. It was surrounded by, we had a large library and motivational, empowering audios that we had to listen to on a regular basis. And I did not realize at the moment how that would play such a major role in my development later on in life. But I remember a time growing up with my dad, and actually I was in high school and I was struggling in school at the time. And before my report card, my dad put me on punishment. I'm like, hold on a second. Why would you do that? I've been checking the mail. I know you haven't seen my grades. And why would you put me on punishment? And in our household, we didn't have a typical punishment. No. There was no timeout, none of that. He actually put me on what he called room arrest. Okay? Room arrest, yes. Which meant I had 2 meal breaks and 2 bathroom breaks, and I could not leave my room. And then he took the keyboard from the computer so I could only see my screensaver. He took away my television privileges. He took away my telephone privileges. And he said, every time I walk by, you better be studying.
There's something else I took away. What was that?
On top of all of that, he took the door off the hinges of my room.
Oh my. He not only owned the house, he owned the door to the house.
Hello, thank you.
Yes, and he has such a sense of humor, so he would come by the room and fake knock on the door. Oh, no need to knock, young man. I can see that you're reading.
And plus, he tortured you.
Yes, indeed. Add that to the list. And I remember I was in my room reading. I would read motivational books that we found around the house, but I wouldn't do my homework because I felt that was giving him what he wanted, the control. So I would came